Wow. That, mm, that, What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Werewoof Reactions. My name is Wolfie, and today we're going to be taking a look at this, issue number 28 of the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. Without further ado, let's take a look. It was a long delay, but it's finally here. Yeah, I just realized that because of the way my green screen works, y'all probably can't even see like this book, but I got this variant cover that has Silver and Whisper fighting against Zor. I'll put a picture of it like over there so y'all can actually see it. But yeah, I love this cover. Oh, and for those of you who are new to these videos, here's how they normally go. First, I tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I give it an overall score. But first, I must read this book back to you in an overly dramatic fashion. And I do mean over dramatic. Before we do that, just if I can ask one favor real quick, chat, like real quick, it'll only take a second. Could y'all just hit that like button real quick? It really helps me in the long run, and it would be very much appreciated. But in the meantime, without further ado, for the last time, let's actually get into this, shall we? Enjoy! Orchardville. Our book picks up where our previous one left off, with Silver and Whisper fighting against Zor. Struggle, wriggle, writhe and cry. You can't escape, you'll soon be mine. While Silver takes Zor head on, Whisper is in the trees with her wisp, preparing their next attack. You're Silver, right? I spend a lot of time online browsing the eggnet. You're really from the future, huh? How far ahead? I don't know, a couple 100 years or so? And you said our devastation is still felt that far in the future. The bleakness, the misery of it all. I can hardly stand it. You're seriously messed up! How can you be this way? How can you be so disgustingly heroic and selfless? As Zor says this, one of his shadows sneaks up from behind and grabs Silver, holding him in place. Because I have faith in others. I believe things will get better. And because I've got a guardian angel watching over me. As Silver says this, Whisper fires her laser shot at the Wisp, who deflect and bounce the laser off of them, causing it to hit Zor in the chest, freeing the Chaos Emerald from his grasp. Once Silver has the Chaos Emerald within his telekinetic grasp, he destroys Zor's Owl Mech, leaving him at the mercy of the Zombots he once controlled. You can't leave me like this! You're supposed to be heroes! I'm trapped! Powerless! This is inhumane! It's perfect! Back at Riverside, SBO and Zaz continue their battle. Look at him run! Box him in! As SBO flees from Zaz, he uses some maneuvers to quickly make his way to the roof. That's not fair! Bring him down! Zaz begins to rain fire upon the rooftop that SBO's on, but he manages to escape. What? Aw, you're not trying that invisibility trick again, are you? Lame. Get out here and fight me like a man! While still masked in invisibility, SBO begins his offense on Zaz, absolutely pummeling him and beating him silly. Not bad, but Zavik's done way worse. Ready for round 2? No need, I've already won. And with that, SBO uses one last ninjutsu technique to blast Zaz with a gust of wind before making his escape. You coward! Get back here! I'll show you the real power of... the Chaos Emerald? Zaz glances down to where the Chaos Emerald would be and sees a handwritten note that reads, Justice is served, the Chaotix Detective Agency. Once SBO makes it to the portal, he sees the image of his teammates on the Chaos Emerald. I may have been the only one here in body, but you were here in spirit. Back at Winterberg, we see the battle between the Babylon Rogues and Master Zik continue. Let them go! Brash young fool. Only now do you begin to understand the consequences of threatening your elders. Jet, before it's too late. I told you a frontal assault was a bad idea.
Boss, what are we gonna do? I can't punch these guys, and that's all I know how to do.
Wave, storm. You're a poor leader, child. You don't sacrifice your own unless it will gain you the advantage. Now all I need to do is utter a single command and you've lost everything. Humor an old man and beg for mercy. It's been so long since I've crushed the enemy under my own heel.
We're the Babylon Rogues. We don't beg, we don't give up. And we don't lose!
Jet is able to catch Master Zik off guard with a huge gust of wind that sends him flying towards Storm's waiting hand. Or in this case, fist. As Storm punches Master Zik away, Wave is able to grab the Chaos Emerald off his body.
Yeah. That wasn't tactical. There was no skill. You brats got lucky. Lucky, I tell you.
Here, take the emerald and go.
What are you talking about? Let's just get out of here.
My extreme gear got lost to the Zombots. Storm's almost smashed his to pieces. You have the only working airboard, so go! With this next panel, we see Jet contemplating his next move before he makes his decision. Sending his extreme gear board off through the portal with the Chaos Emerald in tow and staying behind with the Babylon Rogues for the final stand.
What are you...
Didn't you hear me tell the geezer? The Babylon Rogues don't lose. That means all of us. Sonic will get the emerald and do his hero thing. Until then, let's show these Zombots a real challenge.
Back at Angel Island, we can see our heroes emerging from the portal, each with a Chaos Emerald in tow.
Looks like the Babylon Rogues didn't make it.
Cream? Where's Cream? Oh no.
Gemerald's with her.
She'll be alright, because we're gonna make things right. 2 more emeralds and you can become supersonic and save us all.
I've been thinking about that.
Listen, in the future, everything is infected. That means all this happened already and we failed, but you came back in time. You made it different. If we're going to change the future, we need to use the one thing that wasn't there before. I need your help to pull this off, Silver. Just tell me what you want me to do. It's the face ship! Zavix found us!
You catch on fast. Rouge, we're out of time. Whatever you plan to do, do it!
As the face ship approaches Angel Island, we can hear Zavix's voice over the intercom.
Can you see them from your hiding spot, Sonic? The faces of all the friends you failed?
Inside the face ship, we see Zavik overlooking Angel Island. Angel Island. It looks smaller than Lost Hex, but no less beautiful. I cannot wait to bathe it in metal virus.
What in blazes?
Just then, the power in the face ship goes out. Goodness, does this one emerald power the whole ship? I had wanted to do this more elegantly, but I suppose brute force works for a brute like you. Tuck and roll, boys! I can't believe this was our best option. Desperate times call for desperateness.
No!
Rouge is able to break a window and escape with the Chaos Emerald in tow before it comes careening down to the earth.
Alas, there goes my best effort to date.
I'm just glad the Zombots can survive that kind of damage. You did know the Zombots could survive the face ship crashing on them, right? Of course, I do my research. You're welcome, by the way. What about the one Zavik had? Once the fires are out, we'll dig it out of whatever's left down there. He's not going anywhere.
Actually, he's coming right for us.
Emerging from the burning rubble, Zavik begins to tap into the power of the Chaos Emerald, growing to a gigantic size. Zavik takes a deep breath before unleashing a fiery attack on Angel Island.
Did he just spit on my island?
Tails, Rouge, I need air support. Silver, bring the emeralds, we've got it. Before Sonic can finish his sentence, Zavik scoops up a handful of the infected Zombot friends, flinging them at Angel Island. We gotta... And in this last panel, we can see the final confrontation between Sonic and his Zomboted friends. Next time, the end of Zombots or the end of the world. And that was issue number 28, and wow, I really like this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover what I liked and what I didn't like, and then we'll give it a score. So what I did like, I love that every single character in this book that showed up, mainly the majority of the ones that we didn't get to see the conclusion of, we got to see how their fights went against their respective Zeddies. So Silver and Whisper, a great team, because like, theirs was kind of, if you really think about it, theirs was more or less, their fight was kind of straightforward, right? Like, there was no real tricks. It was more like Silver holding Zor's attention, and while Zor was distracted with Silver, because they were having a back and forth banter, and we'll get to that in just a second, Whisper was setting up her wisp with the crystals that the laser wisp shot bounces off of. So that's something that's really, there's a really nice touch there, because Silver having that back and forth with Zor makes sense, because Zor as we all know, is the opposite of Silver in a way, where Zor represents bleak and misery and death, and he loves all that stuff. Loves the dark, depressing stuff. Silver is on the other side, in which he has lived through the dark, depressing, super horrible future, and he's an optimist. He loves to be positive and have a hopeful outlook on life. So those two clashing and having their ideals clash in a battle would be very distracting to Zor. That would allow Whisper to get her wisp into play, and then, as we saw, Zor got the upper hand, but it didn't matter because Silver had. What's up with my grammar? Silver had a guardian angel, and that guardian angel was Whisper with the best shot. Takes him out. And of course, another Zeddy bites the dust by their own hubris, but he doesn't seem too upset about it because, well, finally, I guess I get to have my own bleak end. I guess Zor doesn't really care. He's just messed up in the head that way. But yeah, he gets the business the same way he gave everybody else the business. He gets Zombotted himself. Couldn't think of a better ending to Zor. Honestly, Zor is probably one of my favorite of the Deadly Six, just because I found him actually kind of entertaining in his bleakness in Sonic Lost World. That's not saying much, but still better than the other ones, in my opinion. If we go off to Espio's fight against Zaz, I like that one too because, like, of course Espio has the agility and all that ninjutsu and stuff like that. Like, I love that he was able to not only outmaneuver the Zombots that were pursuing him, but also, like, able to put up a pretty decent fight against Zaz. Like, granted, in a one-on-one fight, I think between Espio and Zaz, I think Zaz would totally beat Espio. Like, he seems really powerful. Like, probably the second strongest after Zavik, but, like, Espio just has the tricks. He has got the ninjutsu, he's got the agility, he's able to keep one step ahead of Zaz, really. And honestly, that's probably the thing that gave him the edge to beat Zaz. Without all those tricks and everything, honestly do not think that he would have stood a chance. That being said, there was something that Zaz said that caught my attention. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that, chat? Like, listen, y'all remember what he said? Zaz said something that he said something along the lines of, after Espio pummeled him, beat him down a bit, Zaz said, like, or something along the lines of, like, Zaz did way worse, or Zaz has done way worse. Think about that for a second, chat. Zaz has done way worse. That implies that I was right in that one prediction I made in that last comic video. There was a panel in which Zavik was talking to the Deadly Six, and they said something back to him, and he kind of does like this, like, he does like this motion at them, like, you dare? And they're kind of like, like this, they cower like this. Let me tell you something, chat. No one goes like this, no one cowers like that unless they're in an abusive relationship and they've been hit before, okay? So Zaz has been, maybe it's just Zaz, or maybe the whole of the Deadly Six, had been abused by Zavik at some point. That's a pretty big deal. Again, this is probably, it's kind of dark, but I mean, this is the most information we've gotten on the Zeddy, not even in their own game, but like here. Like, I like that dynamic that, like, Zavik, maybe it's not even him being abusive to all the Zeddy, maybe it's just Zaz, because Zaz seems like he's kind of hard to keep in line because he's just always at level 10. He's, like, always hyped up and trying to fight things, and I think the only way to get Zaz to listen is, like, Zavik has to beat him down, like, beat him into submission to get him to listen. And, yeah, it's like Zavik has to be the strongest, I imagine, to keep control of all these punks. That being said, yeah, I just found that line, I was like, huh, okay, so Zavik is at least abusive, maybe not to, the rest of them, but at least to Zaz. So, there's that. And Espio getting that little moment, that little peaceful moment where he has the Castle Emerald, he's like, I did it, boys, I did it. And he's like smiling, and he sees like the image of the Chaotix on the Emerald going like this.
You did it, Espio, I'm proud of you.
That's what I imagine Vector would say to Espio in that Emerald, in that moment. But it was just great just seeing, like, yeah, Espio got some justice for the Chaotix there. And I really like that. Hang on, let me flip through real quick to make sure I don't miss anything. To the fight that happens with, the Babylon Rogues and Master Zik. My least favorite of the Deadly Six, the Zeddies. I love that it was Jet that had this moment where he was having a discussion with Zik. Sorry, I keep forgetting his name. It's so forgettable. Zik. And he catches them off guard with a huge gust of wind. And wait, before I get to that, actually, there's something I love that during the battle, there's a little banter between Jet and Wave. Like, Wave is, even in the midst of battle, like while they're fighting off hordes of Zombots, she's sitting there saying, I told you it was a bad idea, Jet, I told you. Like, that's something the Babylon Rogues are really good at. It's just, they're a team, but they're kind of dysfunctional. They're like a family. What was that one movie? Fast and Furious. We never abandon family. The Babylon Rogues are probably my favorite groups, but I love that Zik says something to Jet that kind of maybe stuck with him. The fact that he's not a good leader and that he won't make that sacrifice, or that he won't sacrifice his own. And there's something that was said there, and I think that kind of got underneath Jet's skin. And there's one reason I like Jet a lot is because he's the egotistical rival to Sonic. He's very competitive, he's kind of scumbaggy in a way, but I still feel he's got that heart of gold. In this book right here, this showcased exactly what I loved about Jet. The fact that even after he knocked out Master Zik, and then Storm punches, he duffs Master Zik. That's what he gets, first of all. And then the fact that they're telling him, hey, go back, and handle things. There's only one board. You have the only working board. And Jet has this moment where he looks at the emerald. He's like, nah. And there's a character moment right here that a lot of people maybe glanced over. The fact that there's two things that happen here. A, Jet stays behind to do the final stand with his group, his boys, his group, the Babylon Rogues. They ride together, they die together. That right there is a great moment of leadership. He's going down with his crew, and I love that. The second thing, this is the part that a lot of people I think maybe did not pay attention to, but there's a great moment here for Jet as well, is that he sends the emerald and the board back on his behalf. He could have easily went back to claim the hero part and do all that stuff to help, but that's not what, he didn't do it. He left it up to Sonic. He even says Sonic will do what he does. Like, he left it up to Sonic. That's a Jet left it up to Sonic. And that's him getting over his pride. I feel like, maybe I'm looking too hard into this, but I love the fact that Jet is willing to put his faith into Sonic, his sworn rival, and the fact that he's willing to put all that aside to go down with his crew. And I'm like, that's a double character moment right there. That may not have been intentional. Maybe I'm looking too hard into this, chat. You tell me. But I feel that was a great moment for Jet, and I really, really like that moment that he was, able to do that. Gotta hope. What is this? Why is this so much? Why is this so much better than Sonic Forces? I feel Sonic Forces. If Sonic Forces had a comic like this, and a whole arc like this, like the Zombot arc, to tell its story, it would have done way better. And obviously a comic book is sometimes a better means of telling a story than a video game, but I think it needs to be said that the writing is good enough. I feel if we have a Sonic Forces written arc by the current writing, I think it would have been great. I would love to see a Sonic Forces rendition, just based on the things we've seen, with Whisper's backstory and how she ties into the Sonic Forces event. Her whole backstory is based on Sonic Forces, and I think they did a good job. A good job. I'm so excited. I'm losing breath. They did such a good job integrating her into the Sonic Forces. She feels like she's just part of the natural canon of of course there would be mercenaries and stuff like that betray everybody and betray their own, and then there's. I love that they incorporated all that. I feel a Sonic Forces retelling in the books would have been great. We got a backstory and Infinite. All the stuff would have tied together. Everything would have come together. I feel way better than what we got in the game. Excuse me. I went on a tangent. I tend to ramble. Forgive me, chat. I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I just finished reading the book and I'm just flipping through it as we go. The final part where they all get back on the island, where all of our heroes, except for Cream, who, as we all know, fell in the previous issues. Gem rolls with her, and we find out, the Babylon Rogues didn't make it back either. So overall, most of them got back, and that's still not bad. I thought we were gonna lose one more person, but the fact that almost everyone made it back is still a plus. So they got five emeralds. They're missing the one. that's on the face ship and the one that Zavik has. Rouge has to brute force and put her plan into motion quickly. She would have finessed it. You know Rouge would have finessed it, but she didn't have time. She had to quickly grab the emerald and get out of there. And, yeah, she escapes. Crashes the shuttle. There's something that needs to be said about Zavik. However mixed bag you feel on him, whether you like him or you don't like him, the fact that he survived a spaceship, like, careening, crashing into the Earth, and he pushes away the rubble, he's on fire, and he's just like, alright, I'm mad now. He just juices himself up, he hulks out with the Chaos Emerald, and like, becomes super powerful, and it's like, what? Where did all this come from? And it's, I mean, obviously that showed up in Lost World 2. That was apparently an ability he has where he can grow big. But I mean, like, he juices up, he fires, you know, he's like, God, destroy Angel Island, just shoots a fireball at him. And I love that he hits Angel Island, and Knuckles' first thing is like, did he just spit on my island? Like, did this man just, oh, you know Knuckles is gonna get him. Like, you better hope that Zavik never shrinks back down and doesn't get back to, because if Knuckles gets his hand, oh, Knuckles is gonna beat him. That being said, there's something that I noticed also. After the fact, Zavik scoops up the Zombots with his hand, his bare hands. Maybe it's because he's used up on the Chaos Emerald. Maybe he wasn't infected. I have to relook at that panel again real quick. He scoops them up. It looks like the Emerald may be like covering his hand and protecting his hand from infection. It looks like in this panel. But he may have infected himself in the process of throwing the infected friends at the island. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't look like his hand's infected on that panel. I could be wrong. But if he did infect himself, then we have a giant infected, a slowly infected Zavik there too, attacking Angel Island. This is going to be a heck of a finale for this. The next book is going to be the last book in the Zombot arc. How are they going to tie this all up? Like, how are they going to finish this? It's very interesting. Something else that was said. Sonic said something to Silver that... I think the way the time travel works in this is like the Avengers Endgame, where it's like going back in time doesn't necessarily change the events of the past. It makes a new branching timeline, I want to say. Like, so we're in a new branching timeline where Silver goes back to the past to save this timeline, and thus making a new timeline in which the end result of Silver's future doesn't happen. But Silver is a needed key component, Sonic says. He needs Silver for something, and I imagine that something is maybe getting the Emerald off of Zavik, because he's the only one that can probably get it off of him. Also, we have trouble. The infected friends are now there, to include an infected Shadow, and as we now know, I believe the infected friends are probably way stronger, way more aggressive than normal Zombots, so there's not much that they can do to fight them off. Like, the only people that can fight them off is Sonic, because he's already infected. Amy, if she can hit them with the hammer. Silver with his telekinetic abilities, but I think Silver and Sonic are going to be busy. Whisper can shoot the Wisp at them to, like, hold them off, and then Metal Sonic. But Zavik is there, and he might take control of Metal Sonic. But those are the 5 that can currently fight off the top of my head right now. And that's not great. Knuckles is there, but he can't fight them. One-on-one, he's going to get infected. I'm excited. I cannot wait to see where this book goes from here on in. Like, how does this end? Like, predictions, chat. What do you predict is going to happen in this next issue? Why is Silver necessary? What is Silver going to have a major play in how Sonic becomes Super Sonic? Because he's still got to get that last emerald from Zavik. Zavik is huge, he's bad, and now we got zombotted friends there too, so it's not looking good for our heroes. I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Things I didn't like. Honestly, if there's only one thing I could change, I'm just looking at the art. The art's great in this too, the writing, the art, everything. If there's one thing I could change, it would be that I maybe wouldn't have had Jet luck it out with Zik. I would have had him scumbag him. But that's only because in my headcanon I always see Jet as this horrible, like, over-competitive, egotistical maniac where it's just like, he's like, bow before me, Jet! And then Jet's like, of course, just leave my friends out of it. But he's like doing this, he's got like the gleam in the eyes, he's like smiling under his, and he just like throws dirt in his eyes or something like that, and then while Master Zik is like, I got sand in my eyes, Jet's like, just punching the crap out of him, just like, I'm sorry, getting a little too into it, but I would have loved if, like, Jet had, like, absolutely just, like, sucker punched him or something like that. Like, you know, just to really add home, but still, I love the way they handled that. Probably better than my writing. You guys would not like if I wrote the stories in this. Anyway, yeah, I think that's, yeah, just that was a minor nitpick. But other than that, I think I give this book about a 8.9 out of 10. We're really building up to the finale here, and it really feels like this is getting grander and grander. We're all meeting up right here. It all comes to a head in the next issue, and I cannot wait. I hope it's not delayed. I don't think it's going to be delayed anymore. I think we're kind of getting back on schedule because this was supposed to be back out in April, I believe. But yeah, as the events happening around the world, obviously there's going to be delays on many things, this being one of them. Yeah, this is great. I love this book. I cannot wait to see more. Let me know what you all think. What are your predictions? What's going to happen? If you already know what's going to happen, don't say anything. Don't tell me. I don't want to be spoiled. We're just making predictions. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Werewoof Reactions for more videos like this one if you haven't already. Seriously, hit the like button though. It really helps me out. Like, it helps the videos out a lot. If you want to really support the videos, hit the like button. You don't even have to subscribe. Just hit the like button. Is there anything else I want to say before we end this review here today? I feel like I'm missing one major thing. Like, hang on, let me just quickly flip through. I want to make sure I absolutely cover everything, because I hate when I go to the comment section and someone's like, you forgot to mention blah, and I'm like, of course, how did I miss that? Yeah, I think I covered everything. Great book. Great book. Even though it's phasing through my hand and it's like, you know, y'all can see through it because of my green screen. Great book. Like, I love this one. Cannot wait till next week. Or not next week. Wow, the next one. For now, everybody, please wash your hands, stay safe out there, and stay tuned.